Alright, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 2, Watanagashi. So let's view the new tips. Alright, from the scrapbook 4. Watanagashi. The rite of Watanagashi is performed during the village festival every June now, but reading back to its origin turns up a serious sanguine ceremony. Originally, Watanagashi would happen at fixed intervals, and after receiving Oyashiro-sama's trust, they chose a sacrifice. Then, the entire village would kidnap, demon away, the person and ceremonially dissect and devour them in a feast. The rules that determine the intervals are shrouded in mystery. This is because the ceremonies occurred extremely irregularly. There's a theory that it was determined based on astrological fortune-telling, but it isn't too convincing. The residents of ancient Onigafuchi village firmly believed that they were half man, half demon transcendents, and that they were more valuable than humans were, and they forced people within and without to accept that. Perhaps the act of kidnapping and eating people was done to prove that they were higher on the food chain. This is just a hypothesis, but maybe the rite of the Watanagashi was a political event for the purpose either being an outlet for, or outright diverting the attention of, the villagers of the isolated Onigafuchi village, in case any of their complaints or dissatisfactions grew serious. If that was the main reason these ceremonies were held, then it's easy to explain how erratic they were. Alright. From the scrapbook 5. The alleged importance of the implements. I can't find anything that gives a concrete description on what the ritual implements were like. They were, however, real, and there definitely existed a multitude of different kinds. One source states that the implements used in the Watanagashi rite alone numbered 200. The obvious question, then, is why they required such a myriad of them. The rite of Watanagashi was to kidnap people through the demoning away, dissect them, and eat them. I believe the tools for dissection and restraining, but 200 of them is far too many. Generally, tools evolve in such a way as to reach a solution for a certain problem. Once you've reached the ultimate goal, that is, attained a certain level of efficiency, the tool's evolution normally stops there. Regardless, why would they have created so many different kinds? One of the cultural elements responsible for diversification over time is that of entertainment. Tools used for entertainment would evolve over time and branch out. Unlike normal tools, reaching the ultimate goal would be more than of a dead end, and in searching for the next goal, they would split into many different subtypes. So then, perhaps it's not a stretch to suggest that these 200 plus implements had some entertainment value. This is just a hypothesis, of course. But maybe the human dissection process was viewed as a type of entertainment. The three families of old would develop one new implement, dissection tool, after another, and each was varied, novel, and attracted spectators to keep them from growing bored. It's not unimaginable. All of them have to be enshrined within that storehouse. There isn't much longer until the night of Watanagashi. Though its original intent had been lost, I will reveal the secrets of the traditional ceremonial night within the ritual storehouse. I can't restrain my excitement. Watanagashi cannot come soon enough. Alright, and finally, after the festival. Late that night, tensions in the police station were strained. In the silence, many of the staff members' eyes shifted back and forth between the clock and their telephones, counting the seconds in that stifled atmosphere. Kumagaya-kun burst in with a young guy trailing behind him. Oishi-san, I've got the autopsy results. The court physician just got here. I'm ready to go, sir. I'll head straight for Gifu. Kuma-chan, things have gotten a bit complicated. They appear to be having a difficult time with determining who the victim is. Could they have been dismembered? Nope. Cooked to a nice, light brown. He spoke in a supportive tones, but the meaning behind his words was heavy. The staff gave a collective sigh. All the way, head to toe? Completely blackened, it seems. Probably smells terrible, too. What a shame it is to be Gifu-san. Cooked with no possessions. Then discarded outside the prefecture. At worst, it would have taken a week for the body to... Oh man, I wasn't paying attention to when he stopped speaking. At worst, it would have taken a week for the body to be identified. The fact that they'd sniffed it out tonight was huge. Komiyama-kun and a few others are performing a thorough night raid on the dentist in Okinomiya. All we can do now is hope a tooth matches some medical records. Sorry. Could someone go buy me two or so boxes of Ultramild? The young guy answered an affirmation and darted out into the hallway. We did an excellent job finding this year. It could be that the people who disappeared in the past years were scattered outside the prefecture like this too. Then why not bury them? Or sink them into the Sea of Japan, or Lake Biwa, or somewhere like that? Why though? Hasn't the pattern so far been one person dies and another person disappears? Kuma-chan, the corpse was inside an oil drum, unrestrained and cooked. They probably burned them after strangling them. They knew it would be found. So what you mean is, from the beginning, they didn't want a person to disappear this year. Not so much as they just aren't related. The person didn't disappear. In fact, whoever did it seems to have wanted to make a show of it. You mean, it could be a warning? He folded his arms and then heaved a long and heavy sigh. That might have been the case, had it happened in town. If they'd messed up taking the victim far away and burning them alive wouldn't have been noticed. If they meant it as a warning, they should have done it closer to Hinamizawa. They wanted to emphasize the fact that they killed the victim, but instead of doing it somewhere for dramatic effect, they did it outside of the prefecture. Do they want to emphasize it, or hide it? Boy, I do wonder what Oyashiro-sama is up to this year. A telephone ring cut through the heavy silence. A staff member nearby snatched up the receiver. Oishi-san! It's Komiyama! They have it! The dental clinic in Okinomiya fixed the wisdom tooth 3 years ago. What about the records? Complete with x-rays. Well, I feel bad for waking up the dentist before dawn. Kuma-chan, get out there as soon as you get the records from Komiyama-kun. Will do. Oh, it's the chief. Thank you for coming out at this hour. Oishi-san, my apologies for my lateness. What's the situation? Well, it's just getting good, you see. We're all getting fired up. Wow! Alright. Exit and let's continue onwards. Continue. I let out a great big yawn. It was like morning had arrived just as I got to sleep. As Mom set up breakfast, she gave me a pained smile. What's the matter, Keiichi? What time did you get to sleep last night? Well, I wanted to go to sleep at midnight, but I had some trouble with that. You were probably all worked up from the festival. No, that's not it. Crunch, crunch. I crunched down hard on the pickled radish to hide my embarrassment. After all that happened yesterday, and our discussion about the sound Shion heard, that banging noise, like a child far away, jumping up and down on a wooden floor. The story wouldn't get out of my head, so I had trouble sleeping. It was a long night. and I kept jumping at the slight sounds of faraway tree branches which should have been either unhearable or too insignificant to notice. When I woke up to the morning sunlight and birds chirping, it made me feel pretty ashamed about it, but I felt far from refreshed this morning. Dun da 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 da. Keiichi-kun, good morning! Huh? Keiichi-kun, your eyes are all red. Why is that? Why? Oh hey, good morning. I didn't get much sleep last night, so I'm sleep deprived today. Authentic. The festival yesterday was a lot of fun. Reina's excitement took a long time to go to sleep, so I took a long time to get to sleep too. To sleep. In Reina's case, her excitement seemed to be wide awake. They should have this kind of festival more often, so we can have lots of fun together again. How? Yeah. Reina talking about the festival yesterday made me remember everything I had nearly forgotten from last night. The inside of the ritual storehouse had been so utterly different from the relaxed, bright, everyday life of Hinamizawa. All those stories that Takano-san told me, too. The mysterious incidents that occurred on the day of the Watsunagashi festival every year. The strange incidents where one person would die and one would disappear. The old stories of Hinamizawa flickering like a candle behind them. The numerous and horrifying traditions of Unigafuchi village. The villagers with demon blood in them. The terrible cannibalistic feasts. The poor sacrifices kidnapped from human villages, victims of the Onikakushi. To quell the rage of Ueshiro-sama, the ritual involving living sacrifices. There were also many, many others. There were so many stories that just remembering them put me in a foul mood. Most of them weren't fiction either, they were true. We didn't need to fear them just because they were real though. Since it all happened so long ago. Such a very long time ago. Where's Michan? She's late! Huh? Before I realized it, I had arrived at the place where we'd usually meet with Mion. Probably because I was so lost in thought. We agreed that if she isn't here by now, we can just go on ahead, right? Should we? Mion being late wasn't too rare an occurrence, but today, she was unusually late. A few of the ominous tales from the night before came back to life in my mind again. Who would die this year and who would disappear? It couldn't have been Mion? What should we do, Keiichi-kun? If we don't get going, we'll be late. She'll be here. She didn't call to tell us she'd be staying home today, right? Let's just wait 5 more minutes, okay? Reina looked at her watch and seemed a little worried, but then she nodded with a satisfied smile. If we had to wait 5 minutes, we'd have to run as fast as we could to school or we'd be late. As soon as I thought that, we spotted Mion running towards us, out of breath. Michan, you're late! You waited? You should have just gone ahead. Mion was breathing heavily and her face was all red. Her house was right down this road, wasn't it? It wasn't far enough away for her to end up like this, was it? Michan, are you not feeling well? Huh? Now that she mentioned it, Reina pushed Mion's bangs away and put her hand to her forehead. Reina, your hand is pretty cold. Michan, you're a little bit warm. It's no big deal. Give it half a day and I'll be fit as a fiddle. Are you really okay? You don't have to push yourself, you know. What's this? Kei-chan, are you worried about me? Aha, that's nice of you. That answer wasn't like Mion at all. She must have had it pretty bad. I just think you shouldn't push yourself too hard. We can tell the teacher you had to take the day off. I'm fine. I took some medicine. I think it's already working. Mion forced an energetic expression onto her face and flexed her biceps at us. Okay then, let's go! Don't overdo it, but of course there's the time. What? We need to run or we won't make it! Ha ha ha! This morning sure is thrilling. Maybe it's just what I need to shake off this slowness. Let's run! Hey, wait, you're sick! Don't go overboard! Mion began to run vigorously away. Michan is older than us, right? She knows her own body better than anyone. I decided to leave it at that and assume she was fine. Great, then we should get going too. We began to run after Mion. The school looked the same as always. The hours passed listlessly and my lack of sleep took its toll. If it was a sport where people competed by sleeping, I'd be world champion right now. The trick to overcoming this sort of dangerous situation was to hold your pencil upside down. Why, you ask? So you don't draw strange patterns all over your notes while half asleep. If you were holding your pencil upside down, that wouldn't happen, would it? Bump, bump, bump. Bump, bump, bump. Something that felt like an eraser hit me in the head 6 times. Ow, ow, what was that for, Satoko? I haven't done a single thing. Who else will play a prank on me like this? Oh, it was chalk, not an eraser? Eh? Behind me, like a female outlaw, might hold razors, was the teacher's shadow holding 3 pieces of chalk in each hand. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Maya Barakud, go and wash your face. Right, gladly. That alone was enough to wake me up, but I flew out into the hallway as if shoved out by the pressure exuded by the teacher's sheer power. If I was going to wash my face anyway, then I would rather use the sinks out front rather than the ones in the dark restroom. Thinking that, I left the hallway and went to the entrance. The sunlight was strong. So strong you wouldn't think it was June. I turned the faucet, and with lifeless bubbling noise, lukewarm water came pouring out. If I let it run for a few moments, would it get cold? I looked at it absent-mindedly for a little while. I knew you'd choose these sinks, Kei-chan. The ones out front just feel better, don't they? Mion? No cutting class now. I stuck my hands into the water to find it had gotten so cold that it seemed strange it had ever been warm. I scooped it up and splashed it against my face. Once I was done, I moved out of the way and Mion did the same. Mion, how's your cold doing? You're sleepy because of the medicine, not from lack of sleep, right? Ooh. It actually made me yawn. Ha ha ha, this is a secret. But after the festival yesterday, I got wrapped up in the party my relatives were having. And well, I had a bit. She made a gesture like she was tilting a cup into her mouth. Which means you didn't have a cold or anything. Are you hungover? How old are you? Nah, ha ha ha. Give me a break. I really don't feel well, you know. I suppose she'd be feeling lousy either way. Still, you treat colds and hangovers in completely different ways. I was worried over nothing. Man, I guess that's just like you, Mion. Mion scratched her head, a little embarrassed. She didn't seem to be feeling well, but now that I knew it was a hangover, I didn't need to worry too much. It would go away with time, after all. Oh, but my head is really pounding, so... The teacher told me I should go home early. Ack, you cheater! So you are going home now, Mion. Now that I looked again, Mion had her bag with her. She must have been on her way home. Yep, I feel bad about it, though. I'll get some rest at home like a good girl. Sorry, I can't make it to the club. Would you take over as leader for today, Kei-chan? I don't know if that will happen. We have that unspoken rule where we don't do the club unless everyone is here, don't we? We never did it when you had gone to your part-time job, did we? Mion laughed wryly, saying we didn't need to worry about her. No matter how much fun we have, though, I think that feeling guilty about friends who can't share in it is the sign of a really fantastic friendship. In that sense, the club Mion has created is a wonderful thing. As I thought about it, the moisture on my face dried up. I suppose we were talking too much. If I didn't get back to the classroom soon, I could get in trouble. Okay, later. I'm going back. Be careful on your way home. Don't wobble into a sewer or a brook, got it? I left it at that, turned around, and started heading back to the classroom. Oh, one more thing, Kei-chan. Mion stopped me and I turned my head to listen. What's up? This may sound weird, but don't think too hard about it. Well, it depends on what it is. Last night, near the end of the festival, did you see Tometake-san or Takano-san anywhere? I suddenly tensed up. You know Tometake-san and Takano-san, right? You remember, Kei-chan, when the four of you were talking during the setup that day before? If I could, I wanted to forget about sneaking into the storehouse that night as soon as possible. So hearing the names of the people I was with at that time really got to me. Besides that, though, why was Mion asking me a question like that? I ended up staring at her, unable to answer immediately. Was she asking to see if I had seen them? Or not? Or was she asking the question knowing that I had? I couldn't tell. Well, maybe. I might have seen them around. I don't know. My vague response was clearly not to Mion's liking. What answer was she expecting from me? There was no way for me to know. I see. Then one more question. On the same night, did you see Shion? My heart leapt into my throat again. The tiny needles buried underneath Mion's word pricked into me. Didn't you ask me that yesterday? I think I told you that I wasn't sure if I had or not. Did you? I guess I just thought I'd get a different answer if I'd asked you again. I suddenly noticed something in Mion's eyes, something indescribable. Tometake-san and Takano-san. Shion, too. She was asking me about them. There was no doubt about it. Last night, the four of us snuck into the ritual storehouse. She knew everything. So what? There's not really a curse anyway. That's right. Even Shion and Takano-san said yesterday during the festival that there was no curse. And that rather than a curse, it was the doing of the villagers. My blood curdled. Mion was, almost without a doubt, aware that we snuck into the storehouse. It was nothing strange. I screwed up bad flipping on the light switch last night. If Mion had been searching for me, it was simple to imagine that she had seen that momentary light and come to find out what was going on. Did you really not see her? Why are you so intent on knowing if I did or not? It's not important. It's just that there are some people who are speaking poorly of Tometake-san, Takano-san, and Shion, and you, Kei-chan. I didn't really hear what they were saying, though. Unpleasant sweat dripped from my arms, and the sound of it hanging from my fingertips was so annoyingly loud. I don't believe that you're doing something bad. I just wanted to ask a bit about it, so I did. Sorry for making you uncomfortable, okay? I found myself unable to reply. My reaction must have made it obvious what the truth was, and yet I couldn't explain myself. Kei-chan, you were with Tometake-san, Takano-san, or Shion, right? Yeah. I finally wrung out an answer between ragged breaths. Mion's expression softened a little. That's good. I'll have to tell them. You weren't involved in anything bad, Kei-chan, so I'll make sure to tell everyone. Yeah, please do. Tell them I wasn't doing anything bad. To everyone, make sure. Everyone. Everyone who is everyone. Okay? Okay, later. I'll be better tomorrow. Bye-bye. Ooh, buddy. Wait, Mion. What do you mean by everyone? Just then, a freezing cold hand touched the back of my neck. Hey, you're late, Mayabara-kun. How long did it take to wash your face? It was the teacher. I was taking so long she came out to get me. Ah, I'm sorry. I was just speaking to Mion. I turned around, but Mion had crossed through the schoolyard without me realizing it and was now standing at the gate. Come back to your studies. Quickly now. The teacher was being insistent. We returned to the entrance. I looked back one more time, and Mion was nowhere in sight. Keiichi, you haven't seemed well all day. It's clearly because you had far too much fun yesterday. I don't want to be told by the one who got lost. Your face was all red and you were nearly crying. Ah ha ha ha. Satoko-chan was so cute last night. How? My friends did their best to cheer me up, but it didn't lighten my mood. Was it far worse than I had thought? Had I really done something that terrible last night? These thoughts remained with me for the rest of the day. Bye, Keiichi-kun. I'll see you tomorrow. By the time I realized I was in front of my own house. Michan had a cold, right? Could you have a cold too, Keiichi-kun? Could you? Huh? I'm fine. I may look scrawny, but I've never missed school because of a cold. Both you and Michan didn't look so good today, though. Thanks for worrying about me. I'm fine. Idiots don't catch colds, remember? Reina smiled, then waved to me and left. Ooh. With my shoulders bobbing up and down from breathing heavily, I entered the house. As soon as I got back in, Mom called out to me. What? Keiichi, I'm sorry, but could you go to the library and return a few books for me? Huh? I don't feel like it. Your dad and I have to wait inside the house for a phone call right now, so we can't leave. I need to return them today. Could you please do it? Sheesh. Did it have to do with Dad's job? No point in arguing if they bring that up. I guess so, but I don't know where the library is. Oh, you don't? It's a little bit past Okinomiya Station. Just then the phone rang. My parents' faces immediately turned grim. Mom snatched up the receiver. Hello? Mayabara speaking. I'm sorry? Yes, he's right here. Then she thrust the receiver at my face. It's for you, Keiichi. Don't take too long, okay? I tried to ask who it was from, but asking the person on the phone directly would be faster. Hello? Ah, this is Sonozaki. Well, the younger one. Hello. Do you have time to talk right now? It was Shion. The older sister had a hangover today, but the younger made no reference to it. Shion? I thought you'd be sleeping in today with a hangover, same as Mion. What? Mion had a hangover? Ah ha ha ha, that's so like her. She laughed warmly, but Mom glared at me, silently telling me to finish up. Whoops, sorry. My parents are waiting for an important call, so I can't talk for too long. What do you need? There's something I want to talk about, but if we can't talk long, I guess that's that. She sounded a little disappointed. What would Shion want to talk to me about? Now I was interested. Then how about we meet in person? If you could show me where the library is too, that would be great. You mean the public library near the station? Yes, that's fine. I go past there on my way to work anyway. Okay then, you know where I usually meet up with Mion. At that intersection where the small path from the Sonozaki house splits. Oh, Kei-chan, did I not tell you? I don't live at the main house, I live in Okinomiya. If we could meet by the ticket machines at Okinomiya Station, that would be great. Main house? Living in Okinomiya? Now that you mentioned it, it always seemed like the Sonozaki sisters weren't communicating. Did they live in different houses? Also, now that she mentioned it, Reina said that she never met the younger sister, despite going over to the place sometimes. Let's meet at the station then. I'll go there right away. Bye! I set the receiver down and Mom immediately thrust a large pile of library books in my face. 6 volumes of long-form mystery novels. Mom had her own hobbies. Thank you, Keiichi. Be back by nightfall. Got it. Okay, I'm going. I supposed I'd change my clothes and grab my bike key. I climbed the stairs to my bedroom. Shion had been waiting for me already, so meeting up was a smooth process. And with that, that's where I'm going to end this episode. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!